All right, we are recording.
Okay.
Okay, so do you want to tell us your name?
My name is Venita Lane.
All right. And who do you work for?
I work for a company called Careers Express in King of Prussia.
Okay, so how long have you been working for them?
I've been there, I think now it's 13 years.
13 years?
Yeah.
Okay. And where did you work before that? Where have you worked since?
Before that, I worked for the Lions Insurance Company, and they were located in King of Prussia as well. I had gotten laid off. Well, actually, I volunteered to be laid off. It was back during the time of 9/11, and I had resigned myself to believe that if I was going to die, I was going to die in my area and not down in Philadelphia,
Right.
in the subway stations where, they would be attacked. So.
Right. And tell us about your family.
My immediate family, I have a husband and 2 children. I have a son, Hamilton, who is 23. He's in the Army, and then I have another son, Brendan. He's 20, he'll be 21. And he is going to be going to school in the fall.
Okay, awesome. So how did you and your husband meet?
Actually, we knew each other from school.
Okay.
I kind of knew about him, but I didn't really know about him.
Right.
So we kind of knew one another, but not really.
Okay. So where did you go to school?
I went to Conestoga.
Okay.
Yeah, right in Berlin.
Okay. So are you from Mount Pleasant?
I'm from Mount Pleasant, born and raised, yes.
Okay. So how was it growing up in Mount Pleasant, would you say?
I'm older, so I had a very different childhood than what, a lot of people experience now. My childhood was full of sunshine and friends and more friends. Growing up in the neighborhood, just going outside and playing from sun up to sundown, basically. You weren't of the generation, or I wasn't of the generation where you would be stuck inside with a handheld game or a PlayStation or a Nintendo. That wasn't even thought of back then. So my childhood was very, very fun, very active. A lot of friends, a lot of fights, but a lot of mending and knowing how to, have friendships and to keep them and to establish them. So it was very, very good.
So do you have any siblings?
I do have one sister, yes.
One sister. Okay. Where is your family originally from, and how did they find Mount Pleasant?
I believe my father. Well, my father was born and raised in Mount Pleasant.
Okay.
My mother grew up in Orange.
Okay.
So both mother and father are from the mainline area. So I have no idea how they met, but I believe it was probably just a mainline thing. The community is so close knit that just about everybody knows everybody, especially in the Black community.
So how were you involved? What were you involved in the neighborhood in Mount Pleasant? What were you involved in?
As an adult,
or just growing up? Yeah.
Activity-wise in the community, it was nothing. I guess you could say nothing structured. Nothing was really structured back then. I mean, gone are the days now where you were just thrown outside and you could, have friends that way. Now everything is, mommy and daddy take you here, there, and everywhere. I didn't have to worry about that. So I didn't belong to any kind of, I'd say, structured like ballet class or basketball or things like that, other than what was inside of the school system.
Right.
So I was involved, I guess, in school system in basketball, lacrosse, hockey. I guess that was all the major sports that I played. Other than that, growing up in the neighborhood, we like to play hide and seek, dodgeball, kickball, baseball, all those fun kind of things. I can say hide and seek. Red light, green light, all those things that probably nobody knows about anymore. All those fun things. Yeah.
So, how were your relationships strong with your neighbors in Mount Pleasant?
Oh, definitely. Everybody knew everybody. A lot of, everybody basically knew everybody. And it's still kind of sort of like that, but slowly, as I'm getting older, as everyone's getting older, we're seeing, people are dying off. My parents have passed away. A lot of, my friends' parents have passed away, or they've moved, to other areas. So it's not as close-knit as it used to be. I believe the community had more of a it takes a village to raise a child. We had that kind of mentality when I was younger, and now, I guess, as I said, because people are dying and people are moving out and doing whatever they need to do, it's changing just a little bit.
So, what was your favorite memory from Mount Pleasant when you were growing up as a child living with your family?
I guess it's just the relationships that were able to be formed, as a child. Of course, those are your formative years when you're learning how to develop relationships and how to establish them and even how to keep them, just the challenges that come along with, conflict and that kind of thing. It was strong in that you might have like a situation going on with a friend that you thought at that time, and then something happened, but because of the neighborhood and the environment of what was going on in that time, you were thrown back in the mix with that person. So you learned too quickly to, forgive and forget.
Right.
Whereas today,
it's
a whole completely different dynamic.
So do you still have friends that you're close with that still live around Mount Pleasant?
Definitely, yes.
Do your children and their children kind of, I know your children are older, but do they kind of
it's a different dynamic. No, I would say no, and that was one thing that I was really surprised even to see with my children. But everybody has their own different personality and way about them. My children had friends, I'd say. My older one especially. My younger one, not so much. But I don't know if that's just because of, his personality or whatever. But I did believe that the kids didn't really stick together as, of course, they did.
All right. So how do you feel about renting the Mount Pleasant houses out to college students?
Oh, is that what the issue is? Is that
That's what we've been talking about.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
How do I feel about it? Well, to be honest with you, I think it was always known from the very beginning. And I'm sorry, I'm not paying attention to you. Are you okay?
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, she's just.
Okay, she's just all right. I don't want to be ignorant.
No, it's okay.
This kind of thing. But I think at my age, I think I knew that was going to be what it would be because how many colleges are around here? It's like
so many.
What? Yeah. And to me, it only made sense that would happen.
Do you have a lot of college students living near you currently?
I do. However, they're not exactly like right next to me.
Right.
Okay, so I'm not as affected as some of the other people who have heard horror stories and believe them to be true.
So what kind of stories have they told you?
Oh my goodness, bad things. I don't even want to say something out of my mouth, but just bad things and just bad
partying.
Things. Yeah, partying and
too much noise.
lewdness and just sexual things going on and just parking and I guess noise and lewdness, I guess, would be the main thing.
So do you feel like they're invading the Mount Pleasant community, kind of?
Invading?
From where maybe? No.
Not really invading. No, I don't think that. I mean, I'm coming from the mindset where I always knew it was going to happen. Because to me, truly, it made sense.
Right.
I didn't know how it was going to happen, but I believed that it would happen. It's kind of sad that some of the community has gone, some of the closest. But again, that's the way of the world now. That's just the way the world is turning out to be. But no, I don't feel like they're invading. I don't live next to any, so I don't really see that. And in my life, I go to work and I come home and I go to church and I fellowship in that regard. So I'm more or less to myself. I don't necessarily. I fellowship with the church in Philadelphia.
Oh, okay.
Christian Lord Baptist Church. Yeah. So I'm very active in the city in that regard. And as I said, I work every day. Not every day. I'm off on Wednesday, but I work Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and the days that I'm working, and then I come home and, tend to the family or whatever. I'm not really, out in the community kind of thing, so.
Another question. What are some great aspects of living in the Mount Pleasant community?
Location. That's We're so close to everything.
Yeah.
You know, we're on the main line. Crime is down. Crime is everywhere, though. Just the closeness, I guess, of the community, and just still having the hometown feel of being in the area. I don't like that we're so far away from the bus and the trains because, you know, I guess what we have to walk maybe 2-3 miles maybe to get to a train kind of thing, which, you know, is kind of a downer, especially as you get older. Maybe not so much, you know, being young, but I remember, you know, being a young child, you know, with all of my friends and what have you, we would always like ride our bikes and, you know, different things like that. So it was fun in that regard, but it's a good place. It's definitely a good place. You know, education is there. It's a good place.
You think that's all benefited for your children?
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. As opposed to growing up in the inner city, you know, there are a whole lot. They have a whole another set of struggles that they have to deal with. I mean, not saying that we don't hear on the main line. Obviously, everybody's going to have their issues, but yeah.
So, as a child, were there? You said that everyone was very close and everyone did everything together. Were there like community activities that happened with everyone? Like maybe like a barbecue or something that went on? Stuff like that? That was very common.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of which age I want to put on, because again, I've lived my whole life there. I remember when I was younger, say, I think it was like 12 or 13. And even, of course, leading up to that, there used to be community events. I remember they used to always have baseball games in the field. They did have a community center at one time where you could go and you could, you know, do whatever you really wanted to do. Play, what's it called, ping pong ball, or they had books up there. There's a basketball court up there. I think in the evening sometimes, I guess different people sponsor different events where they would have parties and what have you. I was never able to go there because I was younger, and I think by the time I got of age, that had kind of like phased out. So, and then moving forward now into adulthood, at the age I am now, they do have community events. Every year, they have a community barbecue.
Okay.
Yeah, where everybody comes back and sees one another. And not only is it limited to the people who grew up in Wayne, but all over the main line. So, yeah, there's always been a lot of community activity. Yeah.
From when you were a child living in Mount Pleasant, how has the community improved or changed?
It's changed a lot, and as I alluded to earlier, you know, a lot of the people are dying and moving away, and of course, college students are coming in. It's just really the degradation of the world, just really. I mean, I can definitely speak from that point of view as I see that people's morals and different things are just being thrown out the window, and God is being like thrown over your shoulder. But still in all, there is a sense of close-knit community. I mean, still everyone will look out for children and what have you. So in that regard, you know, it's gotten a little bit, it's not as, but there still is some semblance of that. Properties, of course, real estate, you know, different things like that. People are losing houses in the economy, or have to move out for whatever reason. And of course, then again, college kids coming in, that kind of thing. So, if I were to say it's changing for the worse, I would only say that in regards to just the way the world is.
Right.
Not necessarily.
Not just the community.
Yeah, not necessarily the community. Yeah.
Right. If you had a chance, would you choose to move out of Mount Pleasant now or in the past?
That's so funny. We had moved, my husband and I had moved a couple of years ago. We left in 2005. We still kept our house. We left in 2005. We moved to King of Prussia. We needed more space. Then I had gotten sick, and then we had to move back to the Mount Pleasant area. Thank God we still had the house, though. But one thing about The house that we lived in King of Prussia, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. It was a beautiful house. It was more spacious, that kind of thing. Because a lot of the houses, of course, the older houses are older. I mean, they're old. They're in the 20s.
The older houses?
The older house, yeah. We have one closet in the house, so the space is like that. I did miss the community. I really, really did. So we left for about 5 years, and now we're back. And it's changed. It's changed a lot, but it's still home.
You're glad that you're back?
Yeah, it's still home.
How have you seen Mount Pleasant grow throughout the years there and being part of the community?
The heritage has always been rich. It really has. I guess there's a lot of ways I could go with that question. I don't really know what you're expecting me to, how you're expecting me to answer.
However you want to answer it, that's up to you.
What was your question? How has it changed? How has it grown?
How have you seen Mount Pleasant grow throughout the years living there and being a part of the community?
Well, I've seen families come and families go. I've seen parents, aged, children from baby age grow up, and it's interesting to see them now, having their own family. Makes me feel so old. But I say the kids are old. But in that regard, it's nice because there's always some place to come home to. So the people change, and again with the environment and different things, cell towers have been placed on the water tank. I don't know how familiar you are with the area.
I'm from New Jersey, so
okay.
I just go to school around here.
Okay. We have cell towers on our water tank now. The faces of the properties, the houses are changing. Again, as people are getting older and the economy is getting tighter, you're seeing some things change in that regard. And again, going back to the face of the community, whereas now more college students are moving in.
Yeah, we went on our walk through Mount Pleasant.
Okay.
We did like a tour, and we were walking by, and they were building in like an apartment duplex kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it didn't fit in at all with the rest of the community and how it looks.
Yeah. So you can see like how there are older houses, and then there are newer houses. Yeah, that kind of thing. So
this is kind of a similar question. How do you like the surrounding areas of Mount Pleasant?
Are you talking about the community here or the general area? Whatever. That's kind of like a...
I don't know. What do you think, Christina?
Like the area of like what you have around you, like the Lancaster Ave, like the King of Prussia Mall.
Okay, the perfect location. Mount Pleasant is definitely settled in a nice location, nice environment. I talked about the community center earlier. That's since been knocked down. Of course, you from Jersey. Where are you from?
I'm from Voorhees, New Jersey, but I'm moving to South Philly.
Okay, all right. So you guys didn't really know about the neighborhood before, but as I said, there used to be a community center there. That's now been knocked down. The basketball court is still up there, and they have a walking track, and of course, there's a playground there. So it's just a really safe place. It's just a really safe place. So I'm very happy with the area. Definitely, no question about it. So close to everything, really.
All right, so we have one more question for you. Let's see. All right, so what is your favorite part of Mount Pleasant and the great resources around it, such as Cabrini College and other places? Gotta throw in us in there.
And give me that question again.
It says, what is your favorite part of Mount Pleasant and the great resources around it, such as Cabrini College and others?
The favorite part of Mount Pleasant is the community, the close-knit, friendly, family environment. And again, the community, everybody, too, pretty much so, still now, for the most part, knows everybody. Just down home, just friendliness. As far as the surrounding areas, couldn't really beat it. Again, location, just down home feeling, basically.
I don't think we have any more questions. These are, I think we're good.
That was an hour? That wasn't an hour.
I don't think it was.
That wasn't
Let me see.
20 minutes.
Is there anything else you could ask? I don't even know how long it's been going on for. Should I stop it?
I would just stop it.